Peace. I want to talk about a dream I had, a vision I had back in 2019. It was concerning the Super Bowl, but the first half was not. I believe all that's taking place right now, it's relatable and it's referencing a multitude of things, right? So I just want to go over it and just tell this vision that I had. Whoa, right? Message to the so-called Negro, so-called African American, the true Hebrew Israelites. Here's the dream. I was in a vacant room with my people, and then two black women walked into the room, and they both were pro-black activists, with two mannerisms of character being shown. One sister was strong, and the other was a mixed breed, but preferred her so-called black side, and she felt she had a point to prove. She was trying to roar up the people in the room to provoke them to stand for their rights and become united. Then the two women appearances changed and showed their true character and intent. Their motives were revealed that they were evil women. Then a Gentile woman, YTE woman, right, appeared in the midst of us all in the room, and she wore her hair in locks. Then a messenger was sent and walked in the midst of them. Ironically, or surprising to me, it was actually me. Then the woman asked my name, and she asked, "What does it mean in its origin?" I followed and said, in a nutshell, it means higher will be praised, for a message was getting ready to take place. So only a higher name was defined. Then I spoke, its origin is Hebraic. Then chaos broke out in the room out of nowhere, and death was near. At this moment, the European Gentile woman locks started turning into snakes upon her head. Now it was time for the message. The message was unto her, Yahya or Ahiah knows you are into witchcraft, and you are under witchcraft. Turn to Ahiah now and serve him, and he will help you. But if you don't, then you will decease in a week. The woman didn't listen, and the whole room was devoured by devils. Then immediately the room was swarmed in by enemies of Ahiah, unaliving the chiefs of the people of Ahiah who didn't listen to the message prior. Turned from witchcraft, and the evil men were being unalive in the honor of 666. And they were calling it out with every unaliving. Now, the chiefs are the people of Yasharala. You know, those who are in elect type of positions, but also those who just simply are Hebrew Israelites, right? For the chiefs were being described as Yahweh's chosen people. And it was showing also that some had greater callings or a greater title, you know. But in a nutshell, we were all one people. And the enemies of Yahweh, they were unaliving the chiefs, the so-called Negro, the so-called African American, which is also taking place more so often now, and witchcraft and warlocks and all of that is more so popular now and is abundantly being done. Like, just it's looked at as something righteous or good or nothing wrong with it, right? As we see that modern ideologies and modern worship and spirituality is being praised more than the Almighty Yahweh, right? But let me get back to the dream. Then a metaphorical scenario presented itself afterwards, and I saw and witnessed Yahweh gathering his people of Zion whom he delights in. And I saw jerseys and numbers on the front and back of the leaders of Yasharala, and they had on Kansas City Chief jerseys. The number that I seen on the back of them was the number 58, right? So to distinguish themselves from the others, like in Numbers chapter 1, verse 16, also chapter 7, verse 2, also First Chronicles chapter 11, verse 10. But Hiah was punishing the chiefs of Zion and purging out his remnant, only the leaders who listen to his words and serves him only, the key, were spared, but those who didn't listen were unalive. See, now as I had time to think about this vision and go over it more and more, it wasn't just the leaders, it was all of us. But the leaders and those who know better or know more or been in this longer or had time to differentiate and discern where they're going to go, who they want to serve, choose what they want to do. If they chose not Yahweh, they were unalive. It was wild. Back to the dream. Now one chief man got away and fled out the room to an outdoor area near a bridge. That's when I appeared again on the side of him, and I noticed the evil enemy of Hiah had gained in numbers and spotted the chief man of Hiah. But the man did not know Hiah or his name at all. Now this chief man is the high priest unto Yahweh. See, you got the prince, commonly called the king. Yahweh is the king, and then you have the high priest of the line of Zadok, right? Of the line of Zadok, you have him. Now, that high priest of the line of Zadok and the prince, commonly called the king or Messiah, is in the Americas together. They are going through similar afflictions, right? They can resonate with one another. But this particular high priest did not know the name of the Creator, you know. So he wasn't prideful or arrogant or nothing, right? He needed to know, needed to learn. So a messenger was sent unto him. Me, for I serve the Almighty Yahweh alone, which I am a prophet, a prince, and a messenger of Yahweh, walking in the Ruach of David and Elijah. You dig? You know? Back to the vision. He did not know Hiah or his name at all, as well as the people who were delivered to the sword and unalive in that vacant room. See, he wasn't this high priest, this chief, he wasn't aware of why these things are happening to his people. He's not knowing it's happening because they're not serving Yahweh alone. He's not aware of that. He just thinks something else is going on. But he escapes, or Yahweh delivers him, from the sword. So, but Hiah presented an opportunity and a deliverance for them, for the so-called Negro. But they chose idolatry. Anything other than serving and honoring and magnifying and exalting Yahweh, obeying Yahweh, is idolatry, right? But they chose their latter end. So they chose to be into spirituality. They chose to be into different forms of religion. They chose to be into the Anunnakis. They chose to be warlock witches. They chose to be gods and goddesses. They chose to be things of the nation. Anything other than Yahweh, right? That was their choice. So this is their bitter end. The latter end, the prophecy, right? Now, but back to the vision. Now the evil enemy of Hiah spotted us, me and the chief high priest, and began running very quickly towards us in massive numbers. And that's when Hiah illuminated my eyes to see Mount Zion from afar in which direction to run. So me and the chief man ran across the bridge. Keep in mind, he has no idea where he is running, nor why. He's not awakened to who he is. He doesn't wake until I talk to him, till I let him know who he is. For I'm the messenger of Yahweh. Right? So back to the vision. So as we were running, I am speaking to him, telling him he needs to get to know Haya. He responds foolishly, who is Ahaya, right? For if you don't know, Ahaya is saying the creator's name in first person, which we really shouldn't do that because that's him speaking directly. We say Yahaya for that's third person, right? For the I, for the Ah means I, and the Yah means he, making it third person. But, he responds foolishly, who is Ahaya? But not mocking him. The evil enemy of Haya started gaining up on us, and we had little time. Well, I had little time to get him to call upon the name of Haya, as it was like my entering, or it's like our progress was based upon him getting to know Yahya and calling upon him, because he's the high priest. I'm the prince. So he must know Yahya, right? And it's important that he is enlightened about this, because we are in the end times, that time right now where Yahya is restoring Yasharala, setting up his kingdom, setting up his remnant, delivering them from the ego, right? But we're going to get to that after this, right? Little time. Okay, then it says, as my entering was based upon if he understands quickly or not. Now we reach the foot of Zion, and I can see Haya and his angels covering and protecting the remnant he spared from that vacant room where they were being unalive by the Amalekite Edomites, who represents the ego, where we are being oppressed at, worldwide known that we are being oppressed in our homeland, in the Americas, right? Well, in different parts of the America, in our homeland, right? Because the whole America is not our homeland, because America is filled with different countries that they call states. That's why the United States of America is not a reference to us, it's the corporation. But America is reference to our homeland, right? And America is filled with countries of the ancient ruins, Babylon, you know, and, and Canaan, you know what I mean? Then, all the ancient Ethiopia, all the ancient ruins from back then, right? So, I could, I, you know, I saw Yahya and his angels covering and protecting the remnant he spared unto himself, and they were wearing Kansas City Chief jerseys with numbers upon them. And it says, but then, now I and the chief man, we were too weak to climb up the hill of Mount Zion, for Yahya having strengthened the both of us, for the man, the chief, still haven't called upon his name, you know, and him and I did not know what phrase Yahya was looking for. See, right now, we should be asking Yahya for help, calling upon Yahya to help us, right? Then it says, for there is a calling at Zion used for safety. Now the evil enemy drew near, very near, and that's when the chief man cried out and said, Yahya, help me. That's when Yahya strengthened me and him, and we climbed up Mount Zion to be with his people, and Yahya established me as his messenger and prince in the eyes of Mount Zion, on my Mount Zion, right? Now, I had this vision back in 2019. The eagle, like I said, represents the Amalekite Edomite, who is who have dominion over this fifth kingdom of man, and they are in a rulership right now. But their rulership is, let's just say, the yoke from our neck is it's coming off, and the yoke is going back on their neck. But there will be no remaining seeds of the Amalekite Edomite. For Yahweh is getting rid of that whole line, for they are the most wicked ones who he been warned with from generation to generation. And that's Numbers chapter 24, verse 20. You know? And it was the Amalekite Edomites who Saul was supposed to eliminate. It was the Amalekite Edomites who attack Esther and Mordecai and our people back then. You know, Haman. It was the Amalekite Edomites who attacked the nation of Yasharala when we was coming out of Mizraim, Kemet, Egypt, during that time with Masha, Moses. You know, it always has been the Amalekite Edomite. Look up Hadad. He was the remaining living descendant from Amalek, where the whole the whole wicked nation was spawned off of him. You know, so the pale side is just on the forefront, but it's the darker side being the puppet masters. This is why Russia and all of them and all these other places is revealing so-called Black Christ, but they just revealing that the nation of Yasharala and his anointed ones are copper color. Right? So that's what this Chiefs gang was about. The eagles humiliating and eliminating the chiefs of Yasharala, the nation of Israel, the so-called Negro, the African American. Jacob's trouble going into that. If you're not into Yahweh, you into whatever else, you will be eliminated. That's a fact. So turn from your wicked ways. All other forms is idolatry. All other ideologies is idolatry. They 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 have been real clever in making it seem like different ideologies is the same as Yahweh's law, testimonies, ways, and order when it's not. They perverted the upright, righteous truth. But now Yahweh is ready to cleanse it and take away that watered down version of our story in the King of Kings, which is Yahweh of hosts. Right? So that's what this Super Bowl is about. It's the unaliving of the chiefs, the Negro, because they wouldn't turn from witchcraft, different doctrines, spirituality, different ideologies, and they stayed conformed to the ways of the heathen, the Amalekite Edomite. You know, they're trying to wait and make America great again, or the United States great again. But America will be great again only when Yahweh rises and restores the kingdom of Yasharallah in his kingdom where he reigned as King of Kings and no other. Woe, adhere to the message. Your brother, peace, Prince Dawada.